The defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588 wasn't due to English cannons or storms in the Channel. It was caused by the fleet's own pride in its invincible formation. That summer, 130 massive ships ran headfirst into a dimensional reduction strike that did not belong to their era. Today, I want to show you a terrifying survival trap, how, when faced with an entirely unknown and lethal threat, human instinctive clustering can lead a whole system straight to extinction. Imagine the despair at that moment. Dense fog blankets the midnight sea, no enemy ships in sight, no boarding clashes, not even a shadow of an adversary. The central supply ships, packed with gunpowder and fresh water, are suddenly ripped apart, erupting into towering infernos as if targeted by an invisible demon. Panic spreads like wildfire along water-soaked ropes and sails. Facing this incomprehensible ghostly strike, the Spanish commanders issue what seems an entirely rational order: Titan formation. Over 100 ships crammed together, trying to use this ocean-conquering iron wall to resist the unknown terror above. But what they don't realize is that the silent hunter in the clouds has been waiting for this exact moment. Wooden ships are fragile, but once the fleet compresses like a panicked shoal of sardines, the nature of the disaster changes. Burning debris rolls into tightly packed neighbors. One ignited ship triggers chain explosions in 10 others. The more they fear, the tighter they huddle. The tighter they huddle, the faster they die. On this death-lit sea, the Spaniards have tied themselves into an inescapable knot of destruction. When hundreds of massive vessels cram together, trying to form a sea wall of dense wood, you don't need to sink each ship. The first law of a dimensional reduction strike is cold and simple. Never attack the hard exterior. Target the system's brain and stomach. Use the smallest spark to trigger the largest chain reaction. Picture that pitch-black night. Fog rolls across the water. Visibility is near zero. The fleet believes itself safest. It calmly observes the clustered formation, identifies the fleet's key nodes: flagships, signal boats, and supply ships carrying gunpowder, water, and spare masts. The bomb doesn't need to split a galleon in half, just breach the deck above the floor. Powder magazine. Fire races along old ropes, dry sails, tar-soaked timber. Flames spread. 5 ships are forced to cut ropes and escape. 10 more veer off course. Panic spreads faster than fire. No boarding clashes, no enemy in sight, only thunder from nowhere. Officers shout, trying in vain to maintain order, but centuries of naval discipline collapse within minutes. Communication boats are destroyed. Flag signals vanish in smoke. Subfleets collide blindly. A once disciplined armada degenerates into a headless mob on the water. Survivors struggle through the debris, unaware that the steel predator above never intended to finish them by hand. Because as the fleet flails, colliding and losing supplies, its timeline for rendezvous is shredded, setting the stage for a natural slaughter far more cruel than any strike from above. When a flagship mast is shattered, water and powder ships ignite without warning. The fleet's nerve and supply lines are severed in a second. The fleet commander issues what had been a century-proven order, but now pushes them into the abyss. Cluster tighter. Move toward the flagship. The unbreakable sea fortress has turned itself into a massive, overcrowded meat grinder. The thickest vessels take the outside, light dispatch boats cling to the center, hoping this centuries-old dense defensive formation will repel the unseen hunter. In the age of cold weapons and early cannons, this iron barrel formation was unassailable. Close enough, no enemy dared board. But they don't know that this instinctive clustering is the perfect kill zone the higher dimensional hunter craves. Hundreds of wooden giants packed together. A single precise bomb need not pierce the thickest hull. Strike the deck above a powder barrel, and the rest is done by wind, wood, and fire. Dry sails, tar-soaked ropes, old pine decks, the crowded formation becomes an accelerant. One ship ignites, flames leap to 3 neighbors. 5 ships violently alter course to avoid the fire, 10 more collide. Commanders realize their tightly knit formation has turned into chains binding them to death. Turning left collides with friends, turning right plunges into fire. No signals can escape. The dispatch boats are already splintered. 2 subfleets receive contradictory orders. Massive wooden vessels collide with sailor screams echoing. The once orderly armada has become a blind, panicked mob. Burned debris blocks all retreat. The sea has turned into an inescapable chain of powder and fire. The highest art of dimensional reduction strike is not just destruction, it's precise disruption of the strategic timeline. The fleet need not be annihilated, it just needs to be delayed, scattered, until it misses the crucial rendezvous. When a tightly planned schedule is broken, nature finishes the kill. North Sea storms do not wait. Hulls leak, freshwater barrels turn green and foul. The once mighty expedition collapses silently under hunger, cold, and endless uncertainty into a flight for survival. All they describe is a demon star above the clouds, a silent iron eagle, punishing any ship that dared navigate. English records credit timely winds and brave cannons, but history's cruel echo hovers overhead. In a world where rules mutate, the tighter you cling to old successes, the faster history buries you. The once mighty armor and dense formations against a higher dimensional hunter are nothing but massive iron coffins accelerating your sinking. When the rules of your industry are rewritten overnight, when an unknown crisis looms above, will you cling to your colleagues and old methods, waiting to be slowly crushed by a new era? Or will you have the courage today to smash your fear? Own invincible fleet?